Writers. Wow. After those presentations, I guess I should say speakers, debaters, activists. That's a heavy load. The fact that you know how to write a compelling argument, to participate in a debate, to be a part of this movement and these speeches, this all means that you have extra responsibility now. A famous person once said, "To whom much has been given, much will be expected." You've been given skills that not everyone has, and now it's up to you to use those skills. Over the past few weeks, you have become invested in issues that revolve around competitive sports. You've decided which big pinata topic you wanted to advocate for, and you found debatable issues within it, and found that you wanted to stake a claim related to one of those issues. Now it is time for you to take your skills in argument writing and debate on the road, using those skills to form a considered opinion about an issue that matters personally to you. I'm thinking about what issues that matter to you might be. I know there are some students who already have strong and informed positions on ways animals are treated in this country. For some of you, that concern revolves around the fact that dogs are killed when there are no homes for them. For some of you, the issues revolve around livestock, the treatment of chickens, for example. There might be people who want to take up the flag for providing more services for people in need, people who are sick, for elderly people. I know there are some students who want to protect the rights of adolescents. Perhaps that involves thinking about protecting the privacy rights of kids, including their school lockers. Or perhaps it involves policies around cell phones in schools. Right now, I want you to pause the video and do some writing in your notebook about the causes that matter to you most. Writers, activists. You have so many causes to choose from: whaling, green energy, child labor, bottled water, eco carbon footprints, recycling, excessive homework, smoking, endangered animals, privacy. I'm thinking that during the final days of this unit, you might take up one of these causes, develop a considered opinion that you want to support in the world, and then make a written argument. It could be a petition, a persuasive letter, an article that you could send out into the world. Are you ready? So, today I want to teach you that when you want to make a difference in your communities, it helps to join or create a cause group of people who share your concern, and then plan and divide up the work so that together you can effectively accomplish all you need to do to write arguments that reach a real audience and convince people to make a change. I want to share with you an example of how young people like you can come together to make a difference. Often, the impetus for change starts with one person like each of you. What you will find is that almost always real change only happens once people join forces, once they create a cause group. So let me tell you about some other kids your age and what they have done. And will you think of the specific actions these young people probably needed to take to accomplish their missions? Because these people didn't just write arguments, they used them to make a difference. 2 years ago, some middle school students at the King School in Los Feliz, California, worked to raise consciousness about the health hazards of the styrofoam food trays their lunches came on. This may have started as one person's idea, or a class's, we're not sure. But what we do know is that to publicize their views, the students not only wrote and talked to a lot of people, getting parents involved as well as kids, all over the school and in other schools, but they also made a giant sculpture out of all the styrofoam trays used in their school one day. A year later, the Los Angeles Unified School District announced that they will no longer use styrofoam food trays district wide because of their negative impact on the environment. In a press release, the LAUSD says that their choice to eliminate the styrofoam trays was due to the fact that the students and parents associated with King Middle School vigorously organized and called for changes to the old policies and practices. So, students, activists, let's think about what these students probably had to do to actually pull this off. Are you thinking that they were probably interested in a bigger pinata topic at first and had to decide on a cause they thought they could tackle? Then they presumably had to research to understand the pros and cons of styrofoam. They definitely needed to understand the pro arguments so they could counter them, right? So I've listed the steps that we just talked about. Let's continue to work on this chart. What other steps do you think those middle schoolers needed to take to actually pull off their accomplishment? Take a second to think about that, pause the video, and jot your thinking. What steps? Might they have needed to think about and then answer some critical questions, like what alternatives are there to styrofoam? What other questions might they have needed to answer? So, compare the chart that you made, the things that you added to your list, against what I have here. Writers, there is nothing that separates these young people from you. Like you, they are hardworking, thoughtful, impassioned individuals. Like you, they have seen and experienced things in the world that make them angry or sad or scared. So much so that they decided to do something about those problems. You know what? I think we can change the title of this chart. I changed the word took to take. Right here, right now, I'm wondering if you might be game for doing something similar about one of the causes that matter to you. So, right now, I want you to look over the list of causes that were important to you that you came up with earlier. And I want you to think about the ones that might be most important to you, the thing that you want to tackle in this upcoming work. So now that you have your cause, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get to work. Let's refer back to the chart for a moment. Step one is to decide on an actionable cause. So you might want to do a little bit more work and make sure that the cause you've identified is narrow enough, but not too narrow. The important thing is that this unit is on argument writing, and I expect you will use everything you have learned about argument writing. So make sure you look back at our anchor charts throughout this unit. Writers, we have 4 days left in this unit, so you'll want to get a lot of writing done today. The rest of the days, the following 3 days, will be spent revising and really solidifying your writing and your paper. So go ahead and go back to the lesson platform for your next activity and do as much of these steps as you can today. Write long. Okay, writers, off you go.